Public Spaces is recommending ways to improve the Byward market. Here's a look at some of their recommendations that were provided to the city. Expand fresh food and produce offering, subsidize food sellers' rent to attract more vendors, reclaim the market building as a major public gathering place, free or validated parking, cover shoppers' parking costs if they spend more than a minimum amount at those food retailers, establish an independent authority to run the market, removing it from the city's direct authority. So that's our topic today in Top Talkers. We have Katherine Dines, Melanie Adams, and of course Jeff Hopper. Thanks for joining us today. I want to get your opinion on this. You know, we're right in the Byward market. We experience it every day. Mel, what do you think? Is it lost? They're saying we're going to lose it if we don't fix it.
I mean, I've been here on cold winter days and seen lots of people, and on hot summer days and seen lots of people. And maybe this is an unpopular opinion, but I'm not a fan of using tax money in this way. I think if a store or a business is going to do well, it will do well because people want it. And I'm not sure, like there are food vendors here, and maybe that there are enough. Maybe there don't need to be more. I'm just not sure how I feel about using taxpayers' money to bring in a specific business if it's not demanded.
Taxpayers' money, because the city would be offering then incentives, making it cheaper for them to come in.
If there's a subsidy for rent,
right,
then
making it easier,
the
less
money
expensive.
that subsidy came from has to be replaced with something, and that will be ours.
Our money.
Yeah.
Katherine, what do you think?
I think that local businesses have to get more creative, and I love the idea of subsidizing some parking for minimum spending. There are shopping centers that do that already.
Yeah.
And you know, they give out incentives. They have free parking, but they give out other incentives. Spend this much, get this. But also, you have to remember that there are a lot of new food vendors popping up, like markets popping up. There was a new one added to Westboro last year.
Right.
Bayshore Shopping Center has one every Wednesday during the season. You've got them in Orleans now. You've got St. Paul University on the weekends. You've got an organic market every Saturday year-round. Like, you've got so many other options.
Are we working against ourselves then by having those markets out in the outlying areas where people live? We're not encouraging people to come downtown to the Byward market.
But you've got to have parking. You've got to, like, the parking issues down here.
You think that's the #1 issue?
I can't stand it. I hate it. It's one of the things that keeps me from coming down. It's like I come down 5 days a week.
Yeah.
On the weekends,
you won't bother.
I don't want to anymore.
Jeff, do you think we even have a problem in the Byward market? Do you agree with this study that we're going to lose it?
I agree that that you need to create an identity, and I normally would agree with Melanie in terms of using tax dollars, except that when you would use those tax dollars, you would attract more and therefore bring in more dollars into the area. So I think that there's actually some sort of happy medium in there. My thing is, what I would like to see is beautification of the market. I would like to see market vendors without chain link fences, with nice stands, and maybe the city could put some money into that, and then your rents would make sense, or even subsidizing rent. I know that's, you start to get into having the city put dollars in, is not going to be very palatable, I think.
Is the focus of our market here a little gray in terms of, are we trying to attract tourists, residents, or both? Because this study and what they're recommending the city do is make sure you get your own residents coming in to shop down here in the Byward market. It's not just about the tourists.
But like Katherine says, it's so inconvenient to come down here when it's busy, especially on a weekend, because there have been times where I've drove around looking for parking and just given up and gone to the mall.
You've got the parking garage with their full signs up. I think adding a nice infinity pool around some of the areas, that would be cool. You know? Just putting it out there.
I think that when you balance a good neighborhood that people would love to live in, it ends up being a great place that people want to go to. Westboro is a great example of that, right? It's a beautiful place to live, and it has this amazing attraction to it. And so they have that balance, and I think the market needs to get back to that, and I think that's probably what this report is about.
Okay, we just have a few seconds left, but just to wrap up, as we head into a weekend, hey, $55 million up for grabs in the line at 649 tonight. Jeff told me earlier today the money's all his. I don't believe that.
Right.
But you have one thing to buy. Mel, you win the lottery. What's that one thing you're going to buy?
Don't make it nice. Make it something you really want.
A house.
A house?
Nice.
Yeah, a project-free house.
Oh, nice.
and a completely irresponsible sailboat. And you?
I steal.
Aha!
I'd go a bigger house too.
There you go.
I'd go one of those big multi-million-dollar massive homes. Yeah, you know, 16 rooms, something that's completely unnecessary for two of us.
Then we'd all alleviate the guilt with a charitable donation.
Of course.
Yeah,
of course.
totally.
All right. All right, that's our Talk Talkers for today.